Let's dive right into this explainer because honestly, we need to talk about a massive secret. True wealth, it usually isn't built on brilliant, world-changing ideas. No, it's actually built on the boring, incredibly simple businesses that you probably walk past every single day and just completely ignore. I mean, we all grew up on these legendary tales of tech billionaires starting out in their garages, right? But for every one of those guys, there are literally thousands of quiet millionaires who simply bought a laundromat, a fleet of vending machines, or even just a dirt parking lot. So today, we're unpacking the data behind these models to show you exactly how the most unglamorous businesses on Earth are actually absolute cash-generating machines.
Just look at the stark contrast between these two very different approaches to building wealth. On one hand, you've got Daniel. He spent 7 years just burning through his savings, chasing that perfect viral app idea. And on the other hand, Alex. Now, Alex didn't invent a single thing. Instead, he bought a 15-year-old local laundromat, threw in 2 vending machines, and within 4 years, the cash flow from that was enough for him to quietly retire. Basically, Daniel chased the exciting thing while Alex built the boring one.
Which brings us to Section 1, the Silicon Valley myth. So our source material analyzed 20 highly profitable, low-maintenance business models, and by grouping them into 3 specific categories, the dirty jobs, the machines, and B2B services, we can actually extract the hidden patterns that make them so incredibly successful. The big takeaway here, none of these require you to reinvent the wheel. You just have to point that wheel where nobody else is really looking.
Because here is the harsh reality. The brilliant idea is a trap. Almost nobody gets rich by inventing something entirely new. They get rich by executing an old, boring idea with a level of consistency most people just do not have. So while everyone else is out there burning out trying to invent the next big viral app, the smart money is quietly replicating proven systems that already have paying customers.
Moving right along to Section 2, the uncomfortable advantage.
Okay, these numbers are absolutely staggering. Commercial window cleaners, the folks dangling outside tall office buildings, they can easily bill up to $1,000 a day. Meanwhile, the portable restroom and pest control markets are just skyrocketing. Both of them are projected to pass $34 billion by 2030. And why are they so lucrative? Well, they solve urgent problems. And honestly, nobody really wants to deal with cockroaches, right?
Which perfectly illustrates what we call the discomfort barrier. You see, the discomfort of a business isn't an obstacle at all. It's the exact shield that gives you a near-total local monopoly. Basically, the uglier the service, the fewer people are willing to compete with you. Ambitious people want those glamorous tech startups, and that leaves these highly profitable, kind of yucky sectors wide open for you to dominate.
All right, Section 3, invisible real estate and asset rentals. Now, whether we're talking about scaffolding, industrial mowers, or portable restrooms, the underlying logic is just flawless. You absorb the heavy upfront cost of an expensive item exactly once. Then, you just let dozens of short-term renters pay it off for you over time. And once that item is officially paid off, every single dollar it generates for the rest of its useful life is pure, unadulterated profit. Think about this for a second. A vending machine making $1,000 a month, or an ATM pulling in $3,000 a month. Actually, scratch that. It isn't even really a product business. What you're really buying is permission to stand there 24 hours a day in a spot where literally nothing was generating money before. You're basically charging rent for an invisible piece of real estate in a gym hallway that used to be worth absolute zero.
$10,000 to $30,000. That is the monthly revenue a well-located parking lot in a commercial district can generate. Think about it. No inventory to restock. No forced customer service with a smile. It's literally just empty land making you money while you sleep, all simply because you secured the right location first.
Let's move into Section 4, specializing in the mundane.
So when you stop competing for everyone and specialize, everything changes. A traditional generalist has to fight tooth and nail for every single local residential call. But an electrician who specializes strictly in smart homes and EV stations, they can easily charge over $250 an hour. Same goes for a plumber who only services urgent restaurant kitchen leaks. Look, when a commercial kitchen pipe bursts on a Friday night, the owner isn't shopping around for a deal. They are paying premium rates immediately. You just stop competing on price entirely.
And the exact same logic applies to mundane paperwork and software. Bookkeepers making $1,500 a month per client aren't selling innovative, complex audits. They're selling peace of mind to business owners who absolutely hate doing math. The same goes for niche software. It doesn't have to be the next big viral social network. It literally just needs to make a small business owner's most annoying daily problem disappear.
All right, Section 5, buy, do not build.
This right here is a massive paradigm shift. As author Walker Deibel points out, the smartest wealth builders out there don't invent anything. Instead, they find a cleaning company, maybe a pest control service, or a laundromat with existing paying customers, and they simply buy the cash flow. It completely eliminates the single biggest risk of any new business, that terrifying period where you just don't know if your idea is actually going to work.
Now listen to this statistic. Approximately 95% of laundromats are still operating after 5 years. I mean, compare that to the massive, devastating failure rates of trendy new restaurants. People are always going to need to wash their clothes. It doesn't change with the economy, it doesn't change with new technology, and it definitely doesn't change with trends. It's just an incredibly safe, beautifully boring bet. And the risk models make this even clearer. An established service franchise might cost you around $275,000 to start, sure, but they average over $1.6 million in annual revenue. When you invest in an established model, whether you're buying a business or a franchise, you're essentially just buying a proven instruction manual. Someone else already made all the costly mistakes, completely removing the guesswork for you.
Which brings us to our final core concept, Section 6, the recurring revenue rule. The difference between just scraping by and building true wealth is beautifully simple. Ask yourself, do you have to convince a customer to buy from you every single day? Or does the customer pay, leave, and come back to pay you again next month entirely automatically? Think of it this way. If you sell a popsicle, you earn money exactly once. But if you rent the popsicle cart to someone else, you earn money every single month without ever touching a single popsicle yourself. This brilliant quote by Morgan Housel perfectly captures why most people stay broke. They chase the excitement of a flashy new app instead of the boring consistency of an annual window cleaning contract or a pest control subscription. True wealth isn't about one-time excitement. It's about systems that repeat reliably, month after month after month.
So, the absolute most crucial takeaway of this entire explainer is this. Recurring revenue is the invisible structure that transforms a stressful daily grind into an automated wealth-generating machine. Pest control, ATMs, bookkeeping, they all share this exact same invisible structure. The client needs the service continuously, which puts your income on a totally predictable automatic cycle.
All right, let's quickly recap your boring wealth playbook. If you really want to succeed, skip the glamorous tech ideas. Find an uncomfortable niche with a high yuck factor. Rent out invisible real estate. Specialize deeply in mundane B2B services. Buy existing, proven cash flow instead of trying to build it from scratch. And above all else, ensure that your revenue repeats automatically every single month.
As you step away from this explainer today, I really want you to filter every single business idea you ever have through one incredibly powerful question. Does it pay you once, or does it pay you every month? If you answer that correctly, you might just find that the most boring idea you've ever had is the one that finally sets you free. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Now get out there and go find your boring business.